Yes. This is Intercontinental Sport TV back again with another video. Today is Friday debate show. Yes, my name is Yemi Ilori. Before I start bringing in my panelists on regards to this show, we're going to look at what we have as a discussion, focus what we are focusing on this discussion for today. Today is day 7. Day 7, the countdown is all about our African Cup of Nation, hosting by Cameroon to 2021. Today is day 7, and today we're looking at the debate, which is going to be like African coaches are not good enough. Is it a myth or a fact? So sit back and enjoy the show. First of all, I want to shout out to my friend, my brother. That's today is his birthday. His name is Ezekiel Shobowali. Wherever you are, shout out to you. You're fantastic, brother. Thank you for your support so far. So good. Yeah, awesome. Okay, I'm having a super chat here. So from Oxford Group Limited. Hey, bro, how you doing? Please smash a like on the button if you are watching this wherever you are, anywhere in the world. Subscribe to the channel. Today is day 7. Day 7. Now the topic says African coaches are not good enough. I don't know yet. Is it a myth or a fact? Um, Let me before I bring in there's another. I want to shout out also to Bernard. He lives in Greece. Is a Cameroonian. You reached out to me some times ago. He's been fantastic. He's been supportive, and also Derek here in the United States is a Cameroonian too. He lives in Virginia. He's a fantastic guy too. Thank you so much for your support. Kunle is standing by. Ope Adebari also they're on standby. They're ready to go. The show. And also, today we're also going to look at some other things that is the latest updates coming up. I mean, that is coming in right now from AFCON. I think so. The Super Eagles they are playing the match today. It's going to be a closed door match. They don't want us to look at it. So please subscribe to the channel and share and like. So right now, I'll take a break, then I'll start bringing my guys in, my friends, my brothers from another mother. Tolu is on your help, is standing by, and only. I'll be right back. I love the. Yeah, today is the debate show. Said we are looking at African coaches are not good enough. Is it a myth or is it a fact? Now, let me bring my brother in. Woo! Opi, Opi. What's going on, bro?
Very well, thank you, boss. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's good to see you. I mean, we've been looking out to how we can hook up with you. It's an Aston fan, I'm very sure. Yeah, Aston fan. Oh my god. Oh my days. Yeah, welcome to this show, this event. It's all about Africa. I mean, it's all about us. This time around, we want to talk about ourselves, our competition. We've had a debate, I mean, back and forth about how
Yeah.
this competition is being disrespected. In my own point of view, or what do you think? Is it being disrespected? I mean, this competition?
Yeah, I think right now we've had the height of disrespect. I mean, it's not like it's just happening now, it's been happening over the years. But if you ask me, I think we contribute to it a bit. And that's most importantly because of the timing of AFCON. I know in 2019 we had it during summer, we changed it for a bit. I don't know why we decided to revert back to January, but then I think having it in January shows the uniqueness of it, right? But then I think for the first time in a long time, we now see where, in particular, these EPL clubs are being very stringent, and then for the first time they have like a strong ground to hold, which is the COVID-19. In previous years they couldn't really stop players from going, even though it will affect them. Because I mean, in previous years we've had clubs who have their strongholds in African players. Talking about clubs like Chelsea, Arsenal, with the likes of Drogba and Adebayo. But right now, COVID-19 is like the best. That is simply just the best excuse for them to give.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's the height of disrespect, if you ask me. Because I just think back to the situation where, Sebastian Haller of Ajax, during his interview, when he was asked that question, why would you even ask me that question? Why would you
Why
ask
would
me
you?
if I'm
Yeah.
considering? To me, that's just the height of disrespect. But I think Sebastian Haller answered it in a very, very good way. If it was me, I don't know if I would have been that calm and articulate, sincerely speaking. But I believe he gave the perfect response to the reporter. And but I believe going forward after this tournament,
Yeah.
I would want to believe that things will change.
We
Jurgen
hope
Klopp
so.
got into a lot of trouble with
Yeah.
his comment.
Comment.
So I want to believe things will change going forward, knowing that African players are extremely important to a lot of big clubs in Europe, none excluded. And hopefully things will change. And probably this time next year, we'll be having a different conversation. And it won't be so much of a matter of disrespect to the African Cup of Nations.
Absolutely. Right now, I'm bringing Kunle in. It's also from Nigeria. He's a Manchester United fan. One love anywhere we go. We're coming up. Don't worry. I know you have a lot to say about Man U now. Everybody's looking at talking about us. All right,
Mm.
Kunle. Kunle, are you there?
Oh,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
boss.
Yes. Yes.
Good
Yes.
evening.
Yes. Yes. How you doing?
And
We
I'm
have
good. And
Upper here.
greetings to Southwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, boss.
Hi,
How's it
Ole.
going?
Nice
Well
to
done.
meet you. Very well.
Hey, nice to meet you, sir. Well
All
done.
right. Today, Kunle, a lot is happening at
Yes, boss.
Manchester United. I mean, I don't know where to start
I don't even.
from.
I don't understand that club's problem again.
Don't
Oh yeah,
I don't
alone.
know.
Like my
A lot
mom would
is
say, oh
happening
yeah,
behind the
alone.
scene. They are doing a lot of. Kunle, what's your take before we go into this debate? I mean, Manchester United is just giving
I
me headache.
honestly, I honestly don't. I honestly don't know, and I think I'm bothered not. I am bothered not to know what it is because yeah, we are hearing talks
They
that
said
some
Ronaldo is
players are not
disturbing.
happy with
They are not
Ragnick.
happy. Ah,
Yeah,
you are
yeah,
paying
they are
so
not
much
happy with
amount like
Ragnick
that, and you're
style. Some people see it's those owners who spoilt those players now. When they are look at the reports that came this morning, they want to give Pogba £500,000 a week contract for him to stay, and I'm like, okay, it's all right. They should go ahead. Me, see. I'm not. I'm honestly not bothered. Even they should do whatever they want. I don't own. I don't own the club. Really, it's Joel Glazer. Let
yeah.
them run it the way they want. See, the little I can enjoy from it on match days, I will enjoy from it, and I'll leave the rest for. I'll leave the rest for the Glazers and all those in Manchester to deal with. Honestly, I can't. I honestly do not have the. I don't have the energy this year to start talking about Man United's problem. So
Oh my
let them do
goodness.
as they wish.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, that's by the way. I know apart from my own point of view. If you're looking at Manchester United from outside, I mean, what's your take? What do you say? I mean, the players have given so much power to do whatever they like. I mean, leaking news. What do you see from your own point of view before we go into our debate?
Just to keep it short, I think since the Glaziers took over, we've had this issue whereby, or rather, don't let me even say the Glaziers, since Fergie left, right? There's
Yeah.
been this issue of a coach not having total control of a Manchester United team, right? I mean, for a long time since Ed Woodward had been there, there was no football director, and I believe that I want to believe that should change after he goes. So when I say a football director, someone that should be in communication with the coach, someone who should
Mm,
help in terms of advising on the type of players that should come into the team, how to
mm,
strengthen the team, how to make things better, right? And
mhm.
without due respect to Ed Woodward, who is coming from a business background, who doesn't know so much about English football and
Oh my God! Sorry,
he
Opez,
has not done it.
there's a chat here from my
Okay.
I did that part. He's saying, "Welcome to my club, Kule. Man United will finish top 10
Yeah,
this."
he's my club. He's my club. Sajapo is my club. Yeah.
I'm
Don't worry,
sorry,
you
I
don't need
can't
to
relate. I
welcome me.
can't
I've been
relate.
a Man U fan. I've been Man U fan for close to like 20 years now. So don't worry. Anything they want to do, they should do. Don't worry.
It's
It's
a
our club.
disgrace.
It's our
It's our
club. Yes.
club anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
Opez, you're saying something, please.
Yeah, so Edward not having proper knowledge of the way it is to run an English Premier League club and a huge European force like Manchester United, it has always been a problem. He just agreed with Sir Alex to let David Moyes come in and take over, and then not giving enough time to the likes of Louis Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. But at the end of the day, they were happy what was going on beyond football, which is the fact that, first of all, Manchester United was put into the stock market. So business was booming. They would buy big name players maybe once every season or once every 2 seasons. They make back the money from buying the player from shirt sales and whatnot and neglecting what goes on the pitch. I think allowing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to stay for so long just
Yeah.
goes to show what really matters to Manchester United in terms of the owners and the stakeholders. So, I mean, going forward, now bringing in Ralph Ranić into the club, having had the type of transfer window they had, I thought things were going to go different, on the pitch. But I believe the first mistake was that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was still left at the helm. Now you bring in Ralph Ranić, who to me, I think I've already seen his weakness. He seems to be more of actually a director and a consultant and less of a coach.
Yeah.
Because it just seems to be that, in the past he has had a certain system which has worked for him. It worked over him in Germany. I know the 4-2 system thrived greatly at RB Leipzig. Even after he left, they were still using it, and sometimes, under Julian Nagelsmann, sometimes he would revert to the 4-2, and I mean, we saw the likes of Timo Werner and co blossoming on that type of system. But this
Yes.
is the English Premier League. It's fast paced. There's more physique. You need to be more physical in the English Premier League, and really, Manchester United are lacking certain players that will help them to execute perfectly the 4-2 formation. The center of the midfield for me has been nowhere since Michael Carrick left. Nemanja Matic has lost his legs. He's not the same. He's not the
Yes.
Nemanja Matic that joined in 2013, that joined from Chelsea, And then McTominay is just very, very raw. We can see the talent there. We know he's got a whole lot to unleash, but he needs that coach that's going to mold him and groom him properly. And I don't think he has the right set of players to look up to in terms of that midfield position, because he's someone who I see probably under a Guardiola or a Mourinho who would even. I mean, what are we talking about? Mourinho was the one that brought McTominay into the
Yes.
forefront. So I believe if he stayed longer under Mourinho, he would have been molded into a much, much better midfielder. And we know Pogba. If Pogba does not have someone beside him who can be an anchor, Pogba will be seen as a selfish player and someone who wastes the ball a lot. You don't see that with him while he's playing with France. That was not the case while he was at Juventus, because he had players who could hold the fort for him while he's going about being enthusiastic with the ball. Let him do that, because that's what he's best at. So if that midfield is not solid enough, things will be good. That's just the thing. Things will be good going forward. So that's why you see a lot of times Manchester United cannot hold the ball. They struggle a lot. They struggle a lot. Despite the caliber of the pitch, And with all due respect to Rafael Varane, he has always played with defenders that are much more better than him. But sorry to say, he seems to be the creme de la creme of central defenders. So it's difficult for him as well. So he then needs to do more work. And sadly, there's no one beside him to complement him. What happened after Ferdinand and Vidic left? It has not been the same. Smalling, Jones, they could never match up. Johnny Evans tried, but in terms of Manchester United standard, after Vidic and Ferdinand left, I'm sorry, no centre back has been able to match up. 80 million pounds down the drain, if you ask me, concerning Harry Maguire. 80 million pounds down the drain. So I really want to go back to the drawing board when it comes to football. Let's just focus on what happens on the pitch. Despite the fact that I'm an Arsenal fan, I'll tell you that last year I was so I was so pissed off and I was so sad what I was saying at Manchester United when they went on that losing streak, with Oli. In my head, I'm like, this is not the Manchester United that I grew up watching. This is not the Manchester United that Sir Alex Ferguson brought to the limelight. Just imagine what is going on. And it seems like Oli was just making mockery of everything that someone else had built in the past. You actually gonna social questions during um, post-match interviews. Even though they do win a match, you ask them, "Oh, what did you tell the boys to do today? What did they do differently?" And he'll say to you, "Oh, I just told the boys to go out there and express themselves and to have fun."
Yeah,
Which coach that
I have a chat coming in from Adedapo Aremu again. He's saying I think this one is really, I do not think is the 4-2-2 formation is the issue. I think the players are not adapting to the new tactical instructions from the coach because the players do not believe the coach.
It's,
so
it's not a matter
I won't
of
say
Call it,
belief. They are
yeah.
lazy. Sorry to say they
eh?
are lazy. It's not they are lazy. What player wouldn't be able to adapt to a I'm sorry, I don't buy that thing. You are a professional. You should be
Yeah,
able to adapt to you should be able to adapt to any this thing that you find yourself. It's just like when you find yourself in the workplace and you are given a task and you now say, oh, you can't do it, you can't, it says a lot about. And if that is the case,
they
then
should get
you
out.
don't go, you understand, then you're not wanted. If
Send
you know
out the
you
transfer
cannot be
request that
playing,
you want to go. Then get out.
simple, simple.
So
Yeah, but
So I
apart from probably the players not being able to adapt, I don't fully believe that because then again, as a coach or as a professional, when you get into a new team, when you see the type of players that you have at your disposal, irrespective of your own personal tactics and whatnot, I believe that you should be able to make the best with the players that you have on ground. Put
oh,
a system in
absolutely,
place. Yeah,
absolutely.
put a system in place that can work for those sort of players. I'll give you a good example with Thomas Tuchel. Before Thomas Tuchel joined Chelsea, his preferred system of play was always a 4-3-3. It was always a 4-3-3, and even with while he was coaching Stuttgart, it's always a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2. But coming to Chelsea, he saw what was wrong. Obviously, he learned from the downfall of Lampard. He saw the crop of players he had with him. He knew the density of the squad and he saw the quality of the squad. And he said to himself, what is the best way to get the best out of these players? Immediately, he went for a three at the back. Until today, it still pays off for him. Once in a while, he will switch it up depending on the way the game is going, and he will go with a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-2-2 sometimes.
yeah,
So then again, Ralph Rangnick has a bit of a blame, irrespective of how experienced he is and how successful, quote unquote, although he has never won a major trophy at a club level, I believe as a coach, you still need to do what needs to be done for your players considering the fact that he's there for a short time. So
yeah.
personally, I would have felt like maybe you set up the team in a way that works best for the players. If he's going to stay beyond this season, he will then implement his personal tactics because time is going. The English Premier League games are coming thick and fast. No one is waiting for anyone. West Ham, Arsenal, Spurs, who have games in hands. Look, these guys are hungry and they want the top four position as much as Manchester United does.
Yeah. Let's quickly. We just have to talk about Manchester United. It's our team. It's my club, and I just imagine a lot of. I just have to talk about it today. So let's go straight to the. I just have to because after I just bantering me everywhere. Oh my goodness.
Don't worry, we are coming. We are
Get
coming
used to
for.
it.
We're coming for them. Don't worry, we're coming for
Get
them.
used to it.
So let's go straight to the top. Today's topic is saying African coaches are not good enough. Is it a myth or a fact? Ahmed is also on standby. Oh my God, you're late. You'll have come, come to. Let me see. Okay, Ahmed. Hey, Ahmed, what's going on? Salam alaikum.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Good
Baraka
afternoon.
Jimo.
Wa alaikum
What's going
salam.
on?
Thank you. Nothing much. It's good to
All
be here
right.
again.
Yeah, good to
Hello,
see you.
guys.
Hey,
Hi, Ahmed, you're
boss, how's
welcome.
it going? Well done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine, man.
Oh, he's also is on standby. Before I bring him in,
Oh,
Ahmed, you are going to start with it straight up. Look at this. African coaches are not good enough. Is it a myth or a fact?
Ah, that's a very, very hard one anyway. It's actually a hard one. And it's the fact that what have we really done as African teams? And what on what basis are we even comparing them to foreign coaches or you know? So if we are looking at the Nations Cup, then maybe
Yes.
we will say that okay, they haven't done so badly. But if you compare them to at club levels, then we are actually nowhere to be found.
Mm.
And even at the AFCON level, the African teams level, you will realize that the majority of the best eras in African football were under foreign coaches.
Yes.
Example is Nigeria. In 1980, our coach then was Otto Gloria,
To
a
Gloria.
Brazilian.
Yes.
Yeah. Then we have Westerlo. Then we have this other guy that took us to Atlanta. And you would, and this at the time
Joe
when
Bonfrey.
Joe Bonfrey, yeah. And this at the time when we were proud of our team. And we still reference them every time. And you see that, we have not even achieved what these guys achieved, while they are coaching us. Then if you compare him with Shehaba, what is his name? This Egyptian coach that won the African Nations Cup for Egypt back to back.
Mm.
Then you'll say, okay, yes, Africa, we are doing very well at that level. But the truth of the matter is this: is that I don't think we are measuring up to standard. I don't think we have what it takes, and it's even unfortunate that the way we treat our own coaches, it is not even encouraging for them to say they want to be the best they can be. When we employ foreign coaches, we see how much we pay them, and when we are dealing with our own people, we see how we treat them. There were this story about Westerhoff having, direct access to the presidency when he was coaching Nigeria, and nobody in NFA dared to, tell him to put anybody on his team.
Yes.
He made all those decisions by himself. But you see, even our coaches, you see the case against Samson Siasia, as good as we think he's one of our best. You see the case against Salisu, the one that was banned, and later he has been integrated into the Eagles, and everything is just muddled up. I don't know. I just think we are not up to that level. We are not good enough. I'm sorry to say, it's not because we are not good enough. It's not because we don't have the capacity to be good enough, but the environment is not giving us, the opportunity to showcase ourselves, to be the best our coaches can be. There's so much limitations. We are not given the right tools to work. At the point we have a coach that was even coaching from Germany. It was when there is any
Mm.
match, that is when you see him coming to Nigeria. And
Yeah.
we gave him that opportunity. We are our problems, and that is the fact. We are the problem. Imagine if we give someone like Keshi the kind of opportunity we were giving many of these guys, the training, the exposure, the money, and these guys will go all the way with the little they were giving. Samsi, Keshi, even Stephen Keshi, achieved the Nations Cup. He won the Nations Cup for Nigeria as one of the few people who won as a captain and as a coach. So it's not because we cannot do it. It's because the environment is limited. We're not given the right tools. But say the foreigners when they come in, we give them everything they require to do the job. So I think on that basis, they are not just good enough. That's my submission.
Yeah, fantastic. I want to welcome Ace in the house. Ace, can you hear me? You're welcome.
What's up, people? How una
Yeah.
day?
Yeah,
We
well
Can
did.
you
done,
You're
well
guys
done.
hear
welcome.
me?
Welcome,
Yeah.
Ace, man.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
you're
you.
welcome.
We can hear
Yeah,
you.
what's up, man? Apologies that I'm
Yeah.
joining late, traffic
You're
and all
welcome.
that. I can see Okpa in the house, my footy whiz
Yeah,
guy, Alpha.
we did. We did.
How you doing? Ace,
I'm good.
we
Chief
are.
Kunle, what's up?
Hey, I'm good, boss. Well done.
Chief
Yeah,
Ahmed, I
I want
hello.
to throw you into Ace. I want to throw you into this situation we're having right now, according to from your own point of view, what do you think? African coaches are not good enough. Is it a myth or a fact?
Well, it's a fact. It's not a myth.
Oh, really? Really?
It's
Why
a
do you say
fact
that?
because
Straight.
for me, I'm always I don't like mincing words, and I like to say things the way they are because we can see we can see the trajectory, we can see the antecedents, and also we can see history. Like as I always say, history in football is very, very important. You can't take history out of football.
Yes.
And when is the noise coming from my background?
Yeah, I think so.
There is no noise here though,
All right.
but I can
Go ahead.
hear. But it's all good. Like I said, history is something you can't take out of football because history is very, very important. And when you see what has happened, the major competition to measure African coaches
Yes.
is the AFCON.
Mm.
And ever since the AFCON started in 1950, whatever, if my stats serves me right, if you look at the teams that have won, and if you look at the managers that have, you know, handled this thing, like I could say boldly, 95% of them are foreign-based coaches, which is from other continents, be it South America or be it Europe. Major percentage of them is from Europe. And we tend to see this, and I'm going to come closer to home, which is Nigeria, where we see the way football is being run. Because the beauty that we see in the EPL today is based on how the EPL is being managed from the business angle. And let's don't even come close into the football itself, because the football itself is pathetic. The way most of our managers have been opportuned to train with El Kanemi Warriors. I know most of us know El Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri. I've been opportuned to train with them during my service days when I was serving in Borno State. We were preparing for DG's Cup at that time, and
Okay.
we needed to play some warm-up matches. So we were using the El Kanemi Warriors Stadium in Maiduguri then to train. And we played 2 warm-up matches with the El Kanemi Warriors. And you could see the level of training that goes on in a supposed powerhouse, a club that seems to be the powerhouse in African football in a while back. It's just a regular, okay, jog when you jog 10 times, stretch, do your warm-up, do everything, and when you're done, come to the field, come and play. And that's all. And I was like, I was expecting, sophisticated drills. I was expecting sophisticated, things done in a different way. Imagine, as at that time, El Kanemi Warriors were in the second division of the first division of the Nigerian League. They were not in the MPFL then, but this was a supposed club that was once a powerhouse in African football. So let me leave all that litany of stories. But what am I going into? You see what happened in Europe. You see football at its best. There is what they call the science part of football. What manager in Africa can you call and say this manager created this philosophy?
Mm.
If you look at the other continents, look at the South American. In Brazil, there's something they call Ginga. I don't know if I pronounce it well. Zinga or Ginga is a style of football. Come to Europe, the core European, German, there is a philosophy that Gerd Muller came up with. I think it was from him we got this Gengen person. And also Johan Cruyff, he has a philosophy. There is this thing I want you guys, I like to state it out on this stream. It's called let me just get the right word. It's called tactical periodization. That was what Mourinho brought into football, where Mourinho all of a sudden, stepped into the glory days, winning trophies. Mourinho, we knew what he was doing with Chelsea then, putting inverted wingers, coming from the left, coming from the right. You had a Demendorf that was left-footed on the right wing, or Ian Robben, and you had a John Cole who was right-footed coming in from the left side, and you had 2 blocking fours. that tactical prowess of Mourinho was what brought Mourinho out into the limelight. And today we can piggyback to it. The Jenga pressing, the Jenga style of football for South America, we can see it up until today. But in Africa, tell me, which philosophy,
Long
which
balls.
philosophy do you know or is acclaimed to be an African coach philosophy? None. Just to round up this my analysis, you know, credit to some of the African coaches that have won the Nations Cup. But those coaches, have you heard anything great about them apart from the Nations Cup that they won for their countries? Example is the Egyptian coach. What's his name again? Let me try and remember his name. Hassan Shehata, that won the three AFCON trophies for Egypt back to back. Where is it today? Nothing, no philosophy. So when people come with this, I don't want to hear it because it pisses me off. I get miffed when I hear people say African coaches are great. It is a fact they are not great because there is nothing to write home about African coaches. And I want anybody that is bold enough to come contest with me, or you know, but to come closer home, there is a body, they call them the National Sports Commission. They say they're in charge of bringing the new managers. You go there for your training to get a coaching course. Have anyone ever been to the NC National Sports Commission in Surulere for you to make inquiries about how you can partake of the program? 3 years ago, I went there because I'm a football fan. I'm a crazy football fan. I love football. So I want to go into management and all that. And I inquired about how do I be part of this? Because being a manager, it's not a bad deal for me to coach or manage a team in Nigerian league before maybe my talent will blow to Europe. And I was told that I would have to abandon everything that I am doing, which is my career, and pack my bags to come into camp. They call it 3 weeks camp. I don't know if it has changed. You'll be there for 3 months. You'll be there for 3 months. And when you're there, you do all your coaching courses. And when you're done, there is no assurance that you will be picked or you will get your coaching badge or you even get any job. I stand to be corrected if anybody is watching this stream to tell me if there's any member of the National Sports Commission to come out and challenge us here on this stream about how managers are being brought up in this country, Nigeria. So it is a fact. I'm going to rest my case there.
All right, Ope, I'm coming to you in this regard. You know, African coaches are not good enough. Is it a myth or a fact? What's your take in this? Okay.
Sadly, with so much remorse, sadly, I have to say that it's a fact. You know, it's a fact, and it's disheartening if you really think about it. Extremely disheartening because let's focus on AFCON, or let me start from AFCON, right? About 29 coaches have won AFCON, right? 16 of them were foreign. 16 coaches foreign and only 13, African. So by the stats alone, it goes to show you that the foreign coaches have the upper hand in an African tournament. That's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a serious problem because when you then go outside of Africa, you take a look at take a look at every other tournament, the Euros, Copa America, CONCACAF, Asia Gold Cup. I could go on and on. When you take a look at the stats compared to AFCON, it's a totally different thing. You have native coaches of those countries or within that within that continent who are the ones taking those teams to glory. It's a serious problem for us. You take a look at Nigeria, right? Nigeria alone, coaches have taken us to AFCON, and 2 of them are foreigners. 2 of them are foreigners. 2 of them have helped us to win AFCON. and the only man who, may his soul rest in peace, who would have probably broken these jinx for us is no more.
Yeah.
And even while he was at the helm, he was battling his own federation. His own federation was almost against him, and if I want to be superstitious, I can go ahead and say the Federation had a hand in his death, very, very mysterious. Lost his wife at first and then he went. We could go on and on to have this conversation. But let's stick to the fact, which is African coaches are not great, right? I take a cue from what he said, talking about the Egyptian coach. So, first question, where is he today? Second question, after success with Egypt, why didn't he take his expertise outside of Egypt, outside of Africa? That then brings me to a point which could then cushion the fact that African coaches are not great. Truth be told, before I even state African coaches, let me talk about black coaches in Europe, right? Black coaches in Europe find it difficult to get first team jobs. I'm talking about people like Sol Campbell. I'm talking about people like Dwight York. It's difficult for them to get first team jobs. Chris Powell was fortunate enough to get a job. He coached Wigan Athletic, he coached Charlton Athletic, but it did not come easy. But Chris Powell is English, just like Sol Campbell. So you think about it. What was different for Chris Powell? And what was different for Sol Campbell? Sadly, Sol Campbell has not gone to any former club of his to get into the coaching staff and say, okay, I do inspire to be the coach one day. Good enough for Chris Powell, former Charlton Athletic player. He was put into the forefront, and from there, his career was propelled, quote and unquote. But today, where's Chris Powell? Chris Powell is not coaching in the English Premier League. You take a look at the former West Brom coach as well, Darren Moore, who was put into position after the sacking of this Pepe Mill. Yeah, exactly. And he tried to save West Brom during that season. They got relegated. He stayed at the helm, but did not last for long as well. So even, I'm sorry to say, but racism is part of it. That's one thing. So you find it difficult for black coaches to actually thrive outside of Africa because they're not even given the opportunity. A different case could be raised for someone like Patrick Vieira, who is seen globally as being a Frenchman and not an African man. We know he has roots here in Africa, but first of all, he's seen as a French coach. And with all due respect to Patrick Vieira, I'll give him his kudos or his flowers. He did well in lower clubs compared to Crystal Palace today. He did well at Nice. He started off with New York City Football Club and in the MLS. So fine, he has worked his way up to where he is currently, and he's possibly a future coach of Arsenal. But then talking about other coaches who have been in CAF, you can't compare the CAF Confederations Cup or the CAF Champions League to any other European league. Very, very sorry to say, because the quality of African football has not just been able to skyrocket the way it should be. We have talented players, we have technically gifted players because we see them on display in European clubs, but then what is the problem? Africa as a whole is yet to develop together. Let's leave Africa out of it. I'll come back to Nigeria again. There is a long list of fantastic players that we've had who have been they've been sought after by so many European clubs. I was privileged to meet John Terry when he came to Nigeria a couple of weeks ago, and last year, a couple of weeks ago. And then I was asking him, who do you remember some of your the best African players that you've seen? And he's talking to me simply about Nigerian players. He said, first of all, he said Celestine Babayaro was someone he looked up to. Celestine Babayaro was already in the first team playing for Chelsea, and then Celestine Babayaro was someone who helped him to get integrated into the first team. He enjoyed playing with him. He said one striker who he hated playing against was Kanu. He said Kanu, you will always know where he was going to go to, but you can't stop him. You cannot stop him. He said some of the most humiliating goals he considered in his life were against Kanu. And then he had to talk about Jonobi Mikel, who said today is still one of his best friends. And Jonobi Mikel was a fantastic defensive midfielder. You know, so it's disheartening when you hear foreign players speak so well of your Nigerians. Meanwhile, you come here in Nigeria and then you expect that the next generation should be much better, things should be improved.
Yes.
You would like to give kudos to the players who have done well for themselves, taking their talent out of Nigeria and pushing forward. But then the players need support. We can count the number of times when Nigerian players have gone without getting paid, without receiving their bonuses. John Obi Mikel funding flights, you know. But then again, it still boils down to the whole and the total system. My point is that one of the major reasons why we don't have great coaches is also because of the system in play. Talking about African governments, African federations as well, they do not give that enabling environment for coaches to be good. And then here in Nigeria, when we have coaches who have the wherewithal and they have the qualifications to be great, we as Nigerians, we shoot them down. Talking about, first of all, Sunday Olise. Olise could not just simply work under the administration of Pinnick because he was not allowing him to do his job. You know, when you want to do your job and then you need the right backing, and then, you know, a lot of things are being done illegally and immorally. Immorally is subject to you. And personally, for Olise, he could not just take it. He left. Stephen Keshi was one person who was able to face Pinnick one-on-one and fight the good fights.
Yes.
You know, I mean, there's a major reason why Olise said he will never coach Nigeria again. You know, so I mean, it's really
during
sad.
During Stephen Keshi's time, Pinnick was not the NFF president. I think it was the Enemy Gary, or what's his name?
Yes.
After during the 2014 World Cup, Pinnick had already started his tenure. Yeah, during
Pinnick took over after the World Cup. After the World Cup.
Yeah.
Okay. So
all right, Kunle. Kunle, what's your own take in this topic? Next to you.
Okay, I just want to probably maybe I don't know if it's that I'm countering what Mr. Okwe said, but where he said that this inability of black coaches to get jobs and all that. I have a different opinion in that. I know that thing has been said. Now, it's not that I'm trying to deny it, but I also ask the question that are black players like those who you mentioned, like York, Cole, are they actually interested in coaching? And is it that they actually tried and they were denied? Because to me, I think black players are not interested. And why do I say that? Okay, let's even agree on, say, Europe, right? Let's agree about Europe. But you can't tell me that in a country like Brazil, we are supposed to be seeing some of their greatest players going into coaching. And we know there are a lot of blacks in Brazil. These guys do not. By the time they retire, most of them, they are off the radar. And you wonder what is happening with their lives. Rather, it is people like Rogério Ceni, who spent all his life in Sao Paulo, who is managing
I just want to butt in here. While we're using the term blacks, whites, I think we just need to be careful so it doesn't look as if we're sounding racist. But we have to put it across that we're not being sounding racist and we're not. Just want to add that.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, so that's what I'm trying. Yes, so yes, I'm not actually trying to be racist, and that is why I'm actually trying to maybe make that point that I think they are not just being interested.
Well, for the case of Dwight York in particular and Sol Campbell, they have applied for jobs and they have not been favored. Let's put it that way.
Okay, what if they didn't do well in there? I don't know because even before Patrick Vieira, we've had this guy who I understand that many of them don't last long, but it's difficult to last long. I mean, Grammy Sunez has not been in management.
Sorry, Kole, I'm going to butt in here. You know what I'm saying? I want to interrupt you because over there are processes. You go through a particular process to get your coaching badge. Do you get?
Yes.
You don't have to live all your life, or you don't have to put all your life to a stop before you could get a coaching badge. So over there, it's fair. It's fair for everybody to come in and come and show what you got, even while you're playing in your final preparation to retire from football. You can also do 1 or 2 or 3 courses. Like Mikel Arteta, when he was with Everton, he had already started his coaching badge, and when he even joined Arsenal, Arsene Wenger helped him out in getting 1 or 2 other batches. I think he did it with Moyes and also Arsene Wenger. So over there, it's a free and fair, atmosphere, environment where you can come in and show what you have. But I don't want us to take this out of context. I want us to keep it in within Africa. Does Africa give you that opportunity for
yes,
you to own your skill, own your talent of being a manager just because you love football?
Okay, let me bring it back. Let me bring it down to Africa then, and for the main topic. For me, I would say that African coaches are. We do have some good African coaches, but the problem is, like as it was pointed out, some of them are not being given the opportunity to, like to progress. Where you should be expecting the federation and other stakeholders to like help them push it or something. Like you said, they are trying to pull them back and all. The ones that don't now have much of the, do I want to use the word capacity now? Because if I say capacity, I can say that no, because here in Nigeria now we have our coaching badges. Just go to the NIS, do enroll in NIS, you get your badge, you get, I mean, like now many of the NPFL coaches down to the even NLO coaches, they all have CAF badges. Maybe I don't know, is it I know they are in grades, is it B, C, and all of that, like the same way we have UEFA and all of that. All our coaches here they all have the CAF badges, but we should ask ourselves that question, like, what is the do I use the word strength of the CAF badge that all of them are holding? Because like Sahiz was pointing out, where he was saying about El Kanemi Warriors, when you go into many of these NPFL, they are not, you see their coaching, you see they're not really doing much. And that is why, one of the reasons why, let me give the instance of Nigeria. I don't know much about I can't speak for other African countries because I have not been there. But for Nigerians, that's why it is very difficult for them to get moves abroad. Even when they get moves abroad, instead of it to be a case of these players are continuing from where they left off, it is like they are starting all over
again. Yes.
They now have to come and start training, you understand? And that is why you find out that some of them, after a while, they don't last in those clubs. They are on the move.
Sorry, let me just button once again. Let me button one in. Sorry, actually, I'm so sorry I'm doing this.
No problem.
National Sports Commission is the body. They are located in the National Stadium, Surulere.
Yes.
If you're not a former MPFL player, someone like you and I that have not played professional football, but we love football, and I want to go into football, probably the management part of football, the coaching part of football. National Sports Commission is the statutory body in Nigeria that you go through. So are they making it? Are they making the environment open for people like us that have a career in something, but you just want to branch out to management? You see guys doing it in Europe.
I think
these guys
do. No, they do.
Yes,
they do.
So the point is,
I can go. But what I am, what I am after,
you can go, but you have to. Your other part of your life has to be put on hold before you can. It's because I went there. I made inquiry. I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to start a managerial place, even if you start with a team in Lagos, or start with MFM, or start with anything. But I need that certification to tell me,
absolutely.
National Sports Commission has certified you for you to go into management in football. So you're now telling me that my career as a software engineer or an IT consultant will be put on hold, all because I want to do something part-time, which I love, which is football. You're not giving me the available environment for me to showcase my talent. Jose Mourinho never played as a professional football. Even if he played, he wasn't that known. As a Wenger didn't play professional football all his career, he wasn't that known. Villas Boas didn't play football. You know, these are guys that have come into management and they've been able to come up with a philosophy that
Yeah.
other managers are following suit. David Moyes himself doing well in West Ham. We saw what he did for Everton. Sorry, I'm citing that as an example. These are guys that did not play professional football as in their lives growing up.
I want to ask you, if I may ask you, if I may ask, do they mean that you must be a ex-footballer before you can enroll, or
Enroll.
you should leave your job? Because what I could deduce from what you're saying is that they're saying you should leave whatever you're doing to join,
Yeah.
to enroll. But I think that is normal, because I don't see any of these great coaches you are mentioning, um, you know, doing coaching role as a part-time. It's actually a full-time job. It's a full-time responsibility. Now, if you now say that, okay, if I'm going to leave everything about my life behind to enroll, then what does the future hold for me? Then we can now talk around that. But I think that if you want to really go into managerial coaching, then you have to leave whatever you're doing and face it squarely.
Now, I understand. I understand that. I understand what you're saying, but we know footballers of nowadays that play professional football. They have businesses they're doing on the side. Mike Flamini is an example. He's a billionaire. His business that he's running currently makes him one of the billionaires. It's a top billionaire business in Europe. I don't know if you can research it and do something about it. But because he was playing football, does not mean he has to tailor or be tailor-made to football. You can do things concurrently. Shea Olofinjan, former professional of Nigeria, former Super Eagles player, he's a petroleum engineer. He started something right, but he didn't play. He didn't start his football here in Nigeria. Imagine if he had started his football here in Nigeria, would he have been that petroleum engineer he is today, or he was back then? The point I'm trying to make is our environment does not enable us to do things concurrently. Hence why you can never get managers. Hence why you can never get managers that will be at that top echelon. 52 countries are in Africa. We are still struggling to win the World Cup. How many World Cup competitions have held? 52 countries. Is it that the European countries and the South American countries, sorry, excuse me, and the North American countries that are winning it are doing something spectacular? It's just because of the process. But in Africa here, we depend on the heroics. We don't depend on the process. We depend on flash in the pan. Yes, Cameroon went to the Olympics, they won gold. Nigeria too went to the Olympics, they won gold. After then, what has happened? So it's just one of these flash in the pans and things that we get. But when it comes to dominating, we are not there because we have not gotten it right in terms of processes, in terms of management, in terms of doing what is right. And that is why I get the stats of managers that have won or coaches that have won the AFCON and coaches that have come to win the AFCON outside Africa, non-Africans. Now, these non-Africans, Clement Westerhoff, what was he able to do in Europe? What did he achieve? He's a European. He knows football. He has done football. He has lived in football. What has he achieved? The other guy, Roger Lamed, I won it for Cameroon. And also the other German, something Schaefer. What has he achieved with European football? Most of them, they are young of European football that they come into Africa to also dominate us here. But we have not
examples are Gennett Raw and this new coach of Nigeria. People who are nowhere to be found. People are nowhere to be found in Europe, and they come here to pick up the stars.
Avi Reina was his name. Avi Reina was his name. Let me get his name right.
Avi Reina for Zambia.
Avi Reina,
He's an
that one for Zambia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that won for Zambia and also won it for Cote d'Ivoire 3 years after.
Yeah.
What record does he have in Europe? What club has he coached in Europe? What club has he taken to the glory days? Even his own country himself in Europe, has he filed to be the manager or to be the coach of the country he comes from in Europe? You see them, they come here to dominate and take over, but our coaches are not given the opportunity. And that's why I'm talking about the process. You don't have to wait for ex footballers to always go for managerial courses. People like us that have passion for football, that couldn't play professional football, can go in there and do something different. Imagine, I just told you about tactical periodization. Bring any MPFL manager and ask him what is tactical periodization. He will look at you and tell you he doesn't know. Bring an MPFL coach. He calls himself, there is this coach of what's the former MFM coach that calls himself the anointed one or the special one. Do you think it's by just flash in the pan that makes you, do you think what makes Mourinho to be called the special one is just a flash in the pan? There is a science to football. That's why you see someone shared on the group about nutrition,
Yeah.
things you eat. Nigerian players preparing for a competition, eating apple, eating egusi soup. Do you think
And stockfish.
do you think they would have done that in their club? We heard the other time when we saw what Arteta has done on Emil Smith Rowe. Emil Smith Rowe was always getting cramps. Emil Smith Rowe was always getting injured towards the end of last season and also beginning of this season. And what did they do? They called him. There is a nutritionist whose JD is to look at what the players go through, their welfare. He looked through what Emil Smith Rowe looked into his meal plan, and says, "This you eat, you have to stop this, you have to stop that." And ever since then, Emil Smith Rowe is better of it now. Hardly do you see him pull cramps. Hardly do you see him go off or get injured. You could see how the dietary plan has changed his career as a footballer.
Same thing for
So
Lukaku. Same thing when Lukaku joined Inter Milan. You know, Lukaku was always seen as a very, very big player. But when he went to Inter, the dietitians they changed his life basically. And today Lukaku is better off. Same thing with Ronaldo. Ronaldo has had that effect on the Manchester United dressing room currently. Any player will tell you that when mainly Ronaldo joined, first of all, no one is eating desserts anymore, and everyone is eating what Ronaldo is eating because over the years he has kept his body in good shape, making him one of the best players in the history of football.
So football is a serious business, and when we decide to take it as a serious business in this part of the continent, probably our lot will be better. The manager in here is the nutritionist, is the physiotherapist, is the one doing everything. How is he going to be great? Over there, you see people who go to school to study diet. You see people go to school to do physiotherapy. That is why you see their economy improving. But here in Nigeria, that's why I'm citing Nigeria as an example because I am from Nigeria. I cannot cite Egypt. I don't know what happens there. I cannot cite Cameroon. I don't know what happens there. But I can cite Nigeria as an example. We see what happens. At times I go to we see what happens in the MPFL games. We see what happens behind the scene. So how can a great coach come out of Nigeria? I rest my case there.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. We're about to finish, round up this show. But before then, tomorrow is going to be, on Saturday. Sunday is the D-Day, the championship. The competition is going to start on Sunday. So we're going to be doing a watch along, fan reactions, preview or review of each matches. So there's a lot to comment on this show. So on the final note, we still have a top scorer in this competition, which is Samuel Eto'o. I think he has 18 goals in total in this competition. I think 18. So who do you think, Ope, on your final note, do you have any African that can break that record?
Currently, is anyone who is capable of doing that in this competition is Mo Salah. If Osimhen was involved, you could say maybe this could be the start of something for him. But Osimhen is not involved. I believe Mo Salah and Aubameyang will be in contention. Aubameyang has 9 AFCON goals in total. So yeah, Aubameyang is in contention. Mo Salah is in contention. You will favor Mo Salah because you don't see Gabon going
Aubameyang
far.
was partying in Dubai.
Aubameyang
What?
was not partying in Dubai. Excuse me, sir.
Really?
Aubameyang was not partying in Dubai. He had a dinner with his Gabonese teammates, and he just took a video with both of them, and of course, trust the media to paint it in a different light. I don't know why they're always targeting Aubameyang, to be honest, but he was not off party. He was simply having dinner with his Gabonese teammates. So, just like I was saying before, it will be difficult for me to say that Aubameyang will probably be the top scorer, given the fact that I don't even see Gabon, with all due respect to them, I probably don't see them going past the group stage, judging by history. So Mo Salah will be a shoo-in for top scorer.
All right. Kunle, what do you think? I'm
Yeah,
coming to you too, Kunle, on the final
yeah,
note. Can
yeah.
any player break that record?
Yes, I'm just going through the list. Mo Salah, I can't see Mo Salah's name. He doesn't seem to have up to 5 goals, if I am right.
And we are going to 18,
So
18 goals.
yeah, so the person who I think can go there is Riyad Mahrez. He has 6. Aubameyang as well has 6. You know,
Compared to their age,
okay.
too.
Sorry, this person can still do it. But he's already in his 30s. Andre Ayew, he has 9 goals. So unless Ghana is on fire, where he's scoring like two goals per
Two
match.
goals. And they
Yes,
reach final.
yes, yeah, exactly. I think Andre Ayew is capable. Asamoah Gyan has 8, but Asamoah Gyan's days are kind of numbered in the Ghana national team. So I would say Andre Ayew, Aubameyang, and Mahrez. As in, these guys are still young. They can still play in the next 2-3 AFCONs. So there's a chance for them.
All right, Ahmed. We have 18 goals scored by Eto. Do you see any player there going to break that record? 18 goals.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to have anybody breaking that record anytime soon. All of these guys, you are mentioning their names, are in their 30s already. And the
Yeah.
highest goal scorer in any Nations Cup is about 6 or 5. So this guy will have to play this one and play next one and make sure he's the top scorer in both of them, scoring 6 goals in each of them. So that will probably give Mahrez the
Mahrez.
18, which is not going to happen. That's we can be sure of. I don't see anybody catching up with Eto.
Never say
He's
never on
lastly.
Mahrez. Oh.
Huh?
Never say. I
On
said never
Mahrez?
say never on
The
Mahrez.
the highest goals in Nations Cup. Have we ever had 9 goals? It's usually 5, 6, 4.
5, 6,
No,
4.
that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying that they can do it. I mean, the Mahrez can still play in another 3. Yeah, so if he can
3
get
Nations
5,
Cup, and if he's going to play in the next 4, it's going to be like in the next 2 it's going to be in his 35.
35.
yeah, he
Come
can
on,
keep going. Who knows? You never
He
can
is
tell.
nah.
on the
Maris is
final
30.
notes.
Maris is 30.
Mahrez is 30.
Maris is 30,
He cannot
30
do it
years of
anymore.
age. Yeah.
Ah,
Sir. I thought he
he
was.
is from your point of view.
Andre
Lastly,
Ayew is also in his 30s as well.
See, man,
do you think
yeah,
anybody can break
it's
that
a, it's
record
a,
on the last note?
it's a,
Final note.
it's a high mountain. It's a high mountain to climb
18
to break that
goals.
record. 18
Wow.
goals. And Maris that we're all calling is on 6 currently. So hopefully the heavens open up on him in this competition and he scores 12 or he scores 13. But it's going to be a difficult task. Because you know why?
Very.
You know why? Sorry to cut you. You know why Asamoah Eto could get to that peak, because then the competition was not that much in terms of the competition
Participants.
itself in the Nations Cup participants here. So he was able to get to that
Just
level
16.
quick. Because even if you look at the other guys behind, Rashidi Yekini stopped at
Rashidi Yekini.
13 goals. And Rashidi Yekini only went for how many Nations Cup? 1990, 1990, 1992, 1994. Imagine in 3 competitions scoring 13 goals. So you could imagine how easy it was. So it will be difficult. I don't see anybody or
Breaking that
topping,
record.
or I don't see anybody getting to that record. possibly maybe a younger player in his 17 or 18 years of age,
Osimhen,
debuting for his or
Osimhen.
his country, and he scores like Osimhen. Osimhen,
Osimhen.
Osimhen went to the last Nations Cup. Okay, no, he didn't go. He didn't
No,
go.
he did not.
He did. He did. He
Okay,
did. He was the third choice striker. He did.
Oh, really?
okay,
But he didn't play.
okay,
But I don't think he
okay,
played.
He played the
okay,
third place.
And
He played the third place match.
okay,
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 okay.
okay,
Even
okay.
any Nigerian close to Yekini is Julius Ahawa on six
Yes.
goals, and you have the likes of Igalo, Mudalawa, or Dewingi on five. So
Oja.
it's not possible.
It's not
It's not
possible.
possible.
Well, thank you
Or
guys.
in this guy we trust, Ademola Lookman we trust if he
I,
decides to do it.
ah,
That's if FIFA lets him play for Nigeria.
goodness me. All
Uh,
right, guys. I so much. Thank you so much. Tomorrow is going to be another day, Saturday.
Before I round up, where is Tolu? He has always been hounding me on that
Tolu,
WhatsApp group.
I don't know
WhatsApp
where
group,
Tolu
man.
is right now. You guys, behind the scene, you guys are
I'm
just
telling you,
wonderful. The
honestly,
group chats,
That,
everybody's just on
I
fire.
that's what makes football interesting. But I don't see Chief
Yes.
Ahmed in the group. Is he on the group?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Ahmed
I
is
am.
there.
I'm usually quiet.
Boy, he's a quiet one. You should have
honestly.
you should have backed your Liverpool guy, man. But you weren't backing him,
Yeah,
man.
funny enough, Liverpool,
Uh,
Liverpool. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
imagine.
Maybe
All
we
right.
need to have a fan debate episode. Liverpool Arsenal. Who is greater?
Who is
that would be
Ah,
interesting.
see?
Why do you want to do that to yourself?
the internet will come down. The internet will crash.
Oh
The
Lord.
global
Why
internet
do
will
you want to
crash.
do that to yourself?
Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Ope, thank you so much for coming. I really
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it. All right, we'll see you hopefully tomorrow. On Sunday, we're going to have a massive. I think I've forgotten to say. We're talking about raffle ticket to some people in Cameroon that will going to watch the match. Courtesy Intercontinental Sport TV. We want to sponsor like two or three people from Cameroon to go there to watch the match. So we pay for their tickets. So it's
What
going
about
to be
from
fun.
Nigeria?
Nigeria to be very
Exactly.
difficult.
Ah,
Well,
we
I'm
have
not
to
saying it's
find.
not going to be very difficult, but maybe we can turn it around. Okay, we're still working on it anyway. I think I want to actually reach out to. We want to reach out to Nigerians as well, no doubt. But it might not be able because we might not be able to pay for his transport to the stadium. But the ticket will be on ground. Maybe we cannot turn the ticket to money. To monetize. So that's what we are planning. I couldn't see get back. Basil from Cameroon said there's a lot going on right now. They're in the meeting, the CAF meeting for journalists. So that's why he couldn't make it. So thank you, Ace. Looking forward to hook up once again. Appreciate you, Ahmed, Liverpool fan. We'll
Thank
see
you.
behind the scene.
Thank you.
Do you
All
think
right.
Nigeria
Thank
will win
you.
this competition? I'm feeling Nigeria is going to win. I don't know why. I'm just
No, I
feeling
don't
it.
think so. No, Nigeria will not win. Nigeria will not win.
I don't know what
Winners,
is
Nigeria will not
wrong.
win.
Maybe,
winners club.
Nigeria will not win.
well,
Nigeria
I'm
will not win.
serious. I just have that feeling. I'm serious. I don't know.
Nigeria is not going to win. Nigeria is not going to. Don't stop having that feeling.
Um, all right. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I appreciate you. This is another episode. We're looking forward by tomorrow to finish up. Tomorrow is the 8th day. It's going to be countdown day 8. And this channel will be doing a watch along on this all the beautiful matches coming up. And the fan reaction will follow after the match. So there's going to be a lot of things going on. We do preview and review of all matches, and it's going to be fun. So sit back as if you're watching this for the first time, please subscribe, share, put the like on the video, help us share it to all Africans, wherever they are, anywhere in the world, to focus on this channel. We're going to give you every update on this channel. Thank you once again. Until tomorrow. Thank you.